Mangione with your live Pinpoint Doppler 12 Futurecast.
Well, this is one of those stubborn storms which doesn't really hammer us with heavy snow the entire time, but it takes a while to go away. So snow continues at varying rates this afternoon, and I've kind of broken this down by location. North of Providence, for places like Woonsocket, you may see an additional dusting to an inch of snow. So this is where the snow is already starting to retreat from. In the Providence area, perhaps an additional inch or two. We'll get some snow, not coming down heavy the entire time, but certainly some bands of snow with moderate clips possible all the way through the evening commute and even a few hours after that. Then at the south coast, this is where the heaviest bands of snow will be, and this is where the snow will be the most consistent with an additional 2 to 4 inches possible. We take you here to the URI campus. You could see it's not stopping people from walking out here on the quad, but the snow coming down over the past couple hours at a pretty decent clip. Snowfall amounts now coming in. I just saw a new report of Barrington at 4 inches, Freetown you're at 5, Fall River at 5 inches, Richmond 4.5, Providence at 2, so less here in East Providence and across the Providence metro area, Coventry at 4.5, and Little Compton now at 5 inches of snow. Now on live Pinpoint Doppler 12, you can see the trend that's starting. The blue is darkest down towards the south coast, but it starts to really thin out from Providence and points to the north, especially out here towards Lincoln along 295 into North and South Attleboro. And this is kind of the trend. Well, it might not completely stop here in northern Rhode Island. It certainly becomes more sporadic, but from Providence and points down to the south, especially for places like Narragansett, New Bedford, Westerly, it's a little more consistent. And this computer model picks this up really well. Notice at 2 p.m., still snowing at decent clips here across the south coast, Providence, northern Rhode Island, at least the potential of some light snow. And it doesn't completely leave us. This is 5 p.m., still some light to moderate snow possible in Providence, even points north and west like out in Scituate, with the steadiest, heaviest down towards New Bedford, Newport, and Jamestown. And then around 8, 9 o'clock, this finally starts to push away, but we could get one final lash with the snow here in New Bedford, where the amounts will end up being the highest. I believe New Bedford, we're already over 5 inches of snow right now. So from the hurricane barrier, right now we're looking at a light to moderate snowfall, visibility in decent shape. Winds are out of the north between 10 and 15 miles an hour. And these winds from the north will pull in some very cold air, and this will drop the temperatures over the next several hours. So we're 25 right now in Smithfield, 26 Newport, 26 in Westerly, but they fall as the cold air works in behind the storm. And this storm's interesting. It's really not a explosive storms like we sometimes get that form off the coast of southern New England, but this is just kind of a steady dose of moisture right along this boundary, which is just sitting off to our south. So I talked about those temperatures. Here's 5 p.m. We're in the low 20s, and then as we go towards 9 or 10 p.m., low 20s, 20 in Smithfield, 22 in Providence. So anything that kind of felt wet or slushy this morning will freeze over to a more solid, icy consistency. So be very careful tonight through tomorrow morning. This is tomorrow morning, very cold, back into the single digits, only mid-20s for tomorrow afternoon. So here's what we're looking at, 2 to 5 inches for the Providence metro area. And I've put you in a wide range because right now the snow bands have set up varying snowfall amounts by a lot. For instance, Providence around 2 inches, Taunton already at 5 inches of snow, 5 to 7 inches basically from Fall River down to the south. I'll include North Kingstown in that 5 to 7 inch swath as well. So in the Eyewitness News Threat Tracker, just use caution from this afternoon all the way through tonight. Even when the snow stops, the roads will continue to be icy. Tomorrow is cold. And finally, Danielle, for the weekend, no major snowstorms. I can hear the applause right now, so it will be nice to finally not be dealing with a major snowstorm for the weekend.
And then temperatures in the mid-40s next week?
Yes, that'll be nice
promising.
Too. Yes,
all right. Thanks, Pete. Now we want to take a look at what we're working on starting live at 5 tonight. We're going to take a closer look at day 2